All right. So every atom has its own name, mass, and size. So what we mean by that is an atom like hydrogen is a gas, and we write it as a chemical symbol of H. So that means hydrogen. So it has its own name, mass, and size. So hydrogen's very small. It's a very light gas. And we call it this because it has only one proton. So the proton, so anything that has one proton only, and protons, remember, are your positive charge in the nucleus, positive, and in the nucleus. So the nucleus is that center thing where there's a proton inside, and then there's electrons that go out around it. That, if it has one proton, it's always a hydrogen. The name, mass, and the size of the atom is most likely determined by the number of protons. So if you have more than one proton, so if you have two protons, so that's in the nucleus, right? This one has more than two protons, but let's say it just had two. This would be a helium atom. Now helium, you know about it, is stuff you fill up balloons with. So helium has two protons. Hydrogen only has one. Helium has two. And they're over 100 elements. So in most cases, the number of protons is equal to the number of neutrons. Now the plus means it's positively charged. So it's kind of like a magnet. Magnets that have positive charge to them, or north and south sides to them, then these all repel each other. So these, the protons, don't want to stick together. They want to go away from each other, but they're in the nucleus, right? And if they're a bunch of them in here, the neutrons hold them in, hold them together. The neutrons have no charge, so they're not attracted to them either. They're not attracted or repelled from each other, push away. So the neutrons, so normally in an atom, or an element, I should say an element, the number of protons and the number of neutrons in the nucleus, remember that's the center part, are equal, the same number. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. But there is an exception. The hydrogen, the most common atom in the universe, so there's many more hydrogens than anything else, only has one proton. So it has one plus charge. All right, no neutrons. And has one electron. So 0 neutrons. That's because if you have two protons, they want to, if you had two protons, they want to repel each other. They push away from each other. You need to have those neutrons in there to hold them together. That's what helps hold them together. Okay? So, but for all other atoms, the number of protons is the same as the number of neutrons. So, the number of protons is the same as the number of neutrons. And they are in the nucleus. Remember, so if we take a picture, this is the nucleus. So if I have two protons, and the P stands for protons, I have to have two neutrons. Okay, remember that. These are plus charges. These are zero charges. 2 protons tells me it's a helium. There's the chemical symbol for helium, He. Right? So if I have, and the size, as you get more protons, it gets bigger. Okay? And it gets heavier. So if I have 3 protons, I need 3 neutrons, and that is got a different name. It's called lithium. Lithium. It's no longer a gas. Helium is a gas. This is a metal. All right? This is a metal. Okay. So, just to remember, protons and neutrons, except hydrogen, have equal number of protons and neutrons. The number of protons gives it its name, size, and mass.